In other gross news, we had that bombshell story that dropped last night about Jay Z. And content warning, trigger warning uh, for sexual assault. Um, and this is the grossest of gross news. And it seems to be part of a larger thing that we've seen unfolding over the course of this year with um, this Diddy story unfolding, and as part of one of the lawsuits that was filed previously in October that named Diddy as a perpetrator of sexual assault. It was refiled yesterday to add Jay Z as another person in that lawsuit. With stuff like this, especially since this news is very fresh, I don't think anybody has definitive answers here. All we can do is kind of go over what's been made public and try to unpack it. So this is a Pitchfork article here. A woman who sued Sean Combs in October, claiming in 2000 she was essayed by the disgraced rapper that's Sean Combs and another male celebrity when she was 13 years old, has refiled her lawsuit to name Jay-Z as the second individual who allegedly assaulted her, according to documents viewed by Pitchfork and also reported by NBC News. Jane Doe is suing both artists for compensatory damages for physical injuries, emotional distress, punitive damages, attorney fees, and more. Filed in a New York federal court, the lawsuit claims that Jane Doe, when she was 13 years old, was dropped off by a friend at New York City's Radio City Music Hall to try to attend the MTV Music Awards around September 7th, 2000. In an attempt to get into an after party, the plaintiff approached limousine drivers and struck a conversation with one who claimed he worked for Diddy. According to the lawsuit, the driver allegedly told her that Diddy liked younger girls and said she fit what Diddy was looking for. Doe claims the driver brought her to a large white house filled with celebrities where two men asked her to sign a non-disclosure agreement at 13 years old. She was asked to sign an NDA, but did not give her a copy of the document. After allegedly accepting one drink from wait staff and feeling woozy, Doe claims she found an empty bedroom to lie down in for a moment, and it gets really bad from here. It gets really, really bad from here. Soon after, Combs entered the room along with the defendant Carter and a female celebrity, reads the lawsuit. Doe claims that Diddy threw her toward a wall, and after she got up, threw her onto a bed. In the refiled lawsuit, she alleges that Jay-Z removed her clothes, held her down, and assaulted her while others watched. Then she alleges that Diddy did the same thing while the two celebrities watched. This is Jay-Z and another female celebrity, says the suit. When Diddy allegedly attempted to force her to perform oral on him, she claims she hit him in the neck, grabbed her clothes, and left the bedroom, holding her dress in front of her like a towel, and running around the residence until she found the front door. The lawsuit states that once outside, she got dressed, walked until she found a gas station, and called her father to ask for help. The pleading speaks for itself. Jane Doe's attorney, Tony Busby, wrote in an email to Pitchfork, "This is a very serious matter that will be litigated in court." Roc Nation, the management company founded by Jay-Z, posted a lengthy statement casting doubts on the claims and alleging that Busby sent his lawyers a blackmail attempt. So I want to read this full statement that Jay-Z made too. The statement came out about a half hour after these allegations hit. And this is the statement. It seems like it came straight from Jay-Z. It seems very first person, and I'm sure he collaborated with lawyers on it. But does seem very. It seems like a very personal statement. My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he calculated was that the nature of these what he had calculated, I guess he is his lawyer, was that the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. Oh, this is what Busby calculated. I'm sorry. No, sir, it had the opposite effect! Exclamation mark. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Two exclamation points. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? That is a notable point there that that in his statement. These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. This lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these type of theatrics, and he puts an exclamation point after theatrics, which is in itself theatrical. I have no idea how you have come to be such a deplorable human, Mr. Busby, but I promise you I've seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine. Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity. My only heartbreak is for my family. This is notable here too, this part. My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such things at their young age. It is unfair to have to try to understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and human spirit. My heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. You've made a terrible error in judgment thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man. He is not a young man who made it out of the project of Brooklyn. Project? We don't play these type of games. We have very strict codes of honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists. Fake physics? Maybe that's physicians? Fake physics? I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me that, if not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids, would be laughable. I look forward to showing you just how different I am. So there's things I obviously don't like about this statement. One, I think it's too many words. Just like Zoosker said in the chat here, I agree. I think this is the sir doth protest too much type situation. This is a lot of words. And whenever you have this many words, it's usually not good. And in all of these words, what he doesn't say, and this is really the kind of thing I'd be looking to hear, is I wasn't at that event, or I've never met this person, or something to make it like, if you're truly innocent, if you truly were not a part of this, I would think that you would say something to that effect. You would say, whatever this event was, I wasn't there. But if you were there, if you were in the room, if you have met this woman, if you met her on that night, then all of this stuff begins to look very problematic. I mean, worse than problematic, obviously. What I did appreciate in the statement was him saying that they should make it a criminal case. I do appreciate that. That to me sounds like something an innocent person would say. Like, why is this just a civil case? If you're saying I did this to this person, then I deserve to be under the jail. I think that's a good point. It's the sort of point that you'd want to hear from an innocent person. And I appreciate him saying that this was going to be difficult for him to explain to his children, because I think that's a part of a lot of this stuff that is not talked about enough. Now, I think the center of all of this is this young woman who something happened to her, obviously, that night. Something happened to her, right? Like, I don't think she's making up a story of being taken to this party um, where Diddy, who I mean, so many things have come out about him now that she took a drink, maybe was passed out, and then she was assaulted. Like these are things that have happened at Diddy's party. So I think like at the center of all of this is a young woman whose life was destroyed, whose dignity was taken, who has felt pain um, that unfortunately I'm sure a lot of people can relate to. But when the person who has taken that from you is a public celebrity and largely escapes punishment for this stuff, I'm sure that that's a worse situation where something was taken from you and you encounter the power structure around these sorts of people that shields them from harm. So that's at the center of this, is like hoping that this person finds healing, hoping that this person has been able to put their lives back together, and hoping that this person can experience some sense of justice. Um, I don't think it's past the statute of limitations for a criminal case, because I believe in New York, um, they recently changed the law to make it where there is no statute of limitations for sexual assault in New York. I believe. I could be wrong about that, but I do believe I've heard that recently. That's part of why a lot of new criminal charges have been brought in New York recently, is because they changed it to make it where that statute of limitations uh, either was lengthened or is taken away completely. Oh, okay. Br Williams, and I'm responding to Br Williams in the chat here. If that was only temporary, then I don't know that. I guess I assumed with Jay-Z saying that in this response that that change was permanent. So uh, if that was just a temporary thing and there and this is past the statute of limitations, then that makes that super foul for him to say that. It makes him super foul for him to say that. Um, and again, makes him look more like somebody who is not innocent if he's saying that and he can't back it up by actually having the practical possibility of there being a criminal case. So we talked about Diddy and all of the harm that's being caused or that's been caused, about all of the harm that gets caused by people in power who are protected by institutions, and how they become more and more monstrous as they continue to get away with things. And one thing that Jay-Z has always been is like the king of like not getting any on him. He's the king of not getting anything on him. This is somebody who was close to Diddy. This is somebody who was close to R. Kelly, like made multiple projects with R. Kelly. Um, and it's been really incredible. Like, I don't know if it's just luck or if it's super preparation or if it's having like an army of fixers to fix things legally. I have a hard time thinking Jay-Z never did nothing. But he's been the king of not getting any on him. Um, so I'm glad this is going to court. This thing going to court doesn't automatically mean that there's going to be a fair process and that due process is going to happen and we're going to find out the truth. But um, I am glad that it's going there. I'm glad that it's going. I'm glad that it's going to court. I'm glad he's not settling, honestly, because I don't like when people do that. Like, people settle out of court and then try to walk around like they're innocent. Like, if you've been involved in harming somebody to this degree, like, there has to be some consequences for that. Like, we kind of have to fix this in society where powerful people can do stuff like this and get away with it for decades. We can't continue to operate this way. So I'm glad more and more stuff is coming out. I mean, if the statute of limitations thing was temporary, I don't know why. Like, why wouldn't that be permanent? Why wouldn't you make it where you could always take somebody to court for assault? Why does there even need to be a statute of limitations for that? I don't know. But yeah, and his statement being ready a half an hour after this made it seem like he knew it was coming. And interestingly enough, the lawyer posted this a couple of weeks ago. This is Tony Busby, I think 3 weeks ago. I've been sued in Los Angeles in a last-ditch effort to stop me from revealing names in public lawsuits. It won't work. The irony of the suit against me was filed by a powerful John Doe. Here's my full statement. We won't allow the powerful and their high-dollar lawyers to intimidate or silence SA survivors. It has been reported that a lawsuit has been filed against my firm claiming extortion. The lawyers that filed it also immediately called TMZ in an apparent effort to silence those who allege sexual assault. Here's the deal. The case filed against my firm is not only the case filed against my firm is not only without legal merit, it's laughable. Here's why. On behalf of two clients who alleged assault, we sent a standard demand letter to a New York lawyer that we know represents an alleged perpetrator and potential defendant. So this seems like it's speaking to Jay-Z because he just said his lawyers received a demand letter. The letters were sent seeking a confidential mediation in lieu of filing a lawsuit. No amount of money was included in the demand letters. No threats were made. The demand letters sent are no different than ones routinely sent by lawyers across the country in all types of cases. It is obvious that the frivolous lawsuit filed against my firm is an aggressive attempt to intimidate or silence me and ultimately my clients. That effort is a gross miscalculation. I am a U.S. Marine. I'm not sure what that has to do with anything. I won't be silenced or intimidated. Neither will my clients. Since our professional efforts at resolution obviously have failed, we will instead disclose the demand letters we sent at the time we filed suit. So they're going to disclose the demand letter too. Very interesting. Since our abuse of the legal system unfortunately runs rampant, the lawsuit filed against my firm is a prime example of that. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. This dude talks just like a Southerner sitting outside on his porch sipping tea. I have confidence that with full public disclosure, all of this will sort itself out, and I'm hoping for the full public disclosure. As much as the victim can stand, anyway. As much as the victim can stand, as much of that is available for her and her resources and her support system to deal with all of this. Curious to see what y'all think about all of this, but that's what we know now, and we'll have to see where this goes going forward. And with that, we cleanse the palate once more. Like and subscribe, homie, friend. It's free. Stop playing.